Good morning. Committee on Parole is called to order. Today is Tuesday, June 24th, 2026. We're here for revocation proceedings this morning. The time is 8:53 a.m. My name is Cheryl Renatz. I'm serving as chairman today. My colleagues on the panel with me here in Baton Rouge is Mr. Chucky Tillis, and remotely is Mrs. Jerry Ledoux. Our staff here at DOC headquarters, would you introduce yourself for the record?
Jasmine Thompson. Sure, I'll take it.
Thank you. And our first remote location this morning is at St. Tammany Parish Jail. There we go. Good morning, sir. Are you Tori?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and DOC number.
And then TORI ESTERN, DOC number 604002.
All right, Mr. Estem. I didn't know how to pronounce your name, so thank you. We're here for a revocation proceeding. You got any paperwork there with you this morning?
Yeah, it's pretty where you did give me.
Yeah, and that's let me see, is that the parole revocation questionnaire?
Number one?
It's right here.
Yeah.
Did you sign that piece of paper at the bottom?
Yes.
So based on the information contained in that document, Mr. Estem, you're not eligible for us to appoint you a lawyer. So are you ready to proceed with the revocation proceeding without a lawyer this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Your case has been assigned to Mrs. Ledoux. I'll turn it over to her.
Hey, good morning, sir. I'm going to be reading some allegations of violations against you, and I need you to enter a plea of guilty, guilty with a statement, or not guilty. On Rule 4 violation, the offender failed to refrain from criminal activity and was arrested on 1/21/2026 by Orleans PD and charged with illegal carrying of a weapon with a CDS, possession with the intent to distribute cocaine, PWID marijuana, and possession with the intent to distribute tapentadol, whatever, some type of drug. How do you plead?
Not guilty till I see what's going on my federal charge.
Also, number 5, you failed to refrain from possessing or controlling a firearm as evidenced by the new arrest. How do you plead to that?
Not guilty.
And number 10, you have not been paying your fees, and you're currently $119 in arrears, behind on your fees. How do you plead to that?
Guilty.
Okay. So your charges were not accepted by the New Orleans district attorney, but they were accepted by the U.S. Marshals. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. They picked it up.
Okay. And you have a court date August 13th?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have an attorney for that particular case?
Yeah, I don't know his name, though. He got a double. I don't know, not double. So.
Okay. So those are significant charges. Have you been to court at all? Let's see, you were detained in April. So this is your first court date?
Yeah, my first court date.
Okay. I mean, these are significant charges against you. And it looks like NOPD is just allowing the U.S. Marshals to handle the case.
Mm.
Okay, so I want you to know, based on reading everything that I've read, I would be prepared to revoke you. And if you want to have that case looked at by the U.S. Marshals prior to us making a decision, I would be willing to continue the case until such time as they've made a decision.
Yes.
Ms.
Yeah, I'll wait till they finish to see what they're gonna do.
So, Chairman Renatsa, Mr. Tillis, do you have any input on that?
Well, I would, based on what I see in the record, I think the evidence supports new criminal conduct.
I do too. Yeah.
Firearm-related violations. I have enough information in my mind to vote to revoke.
Okay. I did too. Yeah, because I have enough. I think that there's a significant reason to believe without with preponderance of evidence that you have been engaged in criminal conduct. What would you like to say about the time, what happened, Mr. Eston?
Time of what happened with the charges?
Yeah, what happened?
And just, I'm really just fighting the charges right now.
So you didn't you were not involved in carrying a weapon while you were on
I was
parole?
really in the wrong place at the wrong time.
That's usually what happens. Why were you hanging out with people who were doing what were the other people doing that caused them to get in trouble?
I was at a store.
Uh-huh.
I was at a store. I walked in the store and walked out the store.
Okay.
Mr. Epstein, did you have drugs on you or a firearm?
No, it said been thrown. It said it was thrown all over. And she just said she observed me.
Okay.
But the video show otherwise. The video got a video show. But she said I didn't do.
And so that video has been presented to the marshals, though, right?
Yes.
And a video doesn't lie usually.
And the video don't lie. When she said she saw me dead, the video don't show that.
Okay. So you were out from March of 25
Yes, ma'am.
until you were arrested in April.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I don't have any other questions.
Any other questions?
No, I don't have any.
So are you asking us to continue your case till after you deal with federal charges?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd be willing to do that based on his statement, Mrs. Ledoux.
Okay. My vote today would be to continue the case until after the U.S. Marshals adjudicates the criminal activity.
Mr. Tillis?
I concur to continue.
All right, and as do I, because the court date is in the near future. So, Mr. Estem, we're gonna continue. We're not gonna make a decision today. We're gonna let you deal with those charges, and we'll see you again.
Good, ma'am.
Bless you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
I'll take a seat on the bench. If you have, I'll bring up all that.
Good morning. We are still at St. Tammany, and I would ask if maybe we could adjust the camera down a little bit, please, because I can't, there you go. Mr. Pichon, is that how you say your name?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you introduce yourself, sir? Tell us your name and your DOC number.
Herbert Anthony Pichon Jr., 311673.
And you have counsel here with you this morning, so I'd like to ask counsel, please introduce yourself for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. With Cameron Mary on behalf of Mr. Pichon.
All right, thank you. And also here in support, we have your mother, your stepmother, and your brother who are here, and they've asked to say a few words, and we'll ask them to do so shortly. We also have Miss Latasha King, who has asked to say a few words. We'll also call on her. Now, Mr. Mary, who is Michael Moore?
Michael Moore is the public defender that was assigned to Mr. Pichon's, one of Mr. Pichon's cases. I've taken over for Michael
Okay.
as private counsel.
Okay, thank you. I just had some information that was sent over this morning with him listed. So, okay, thank you for clarifying that. So, Mr. Pichon and Mr. Mary, your case today has been assigned to Mrs. Ledoux, so I'm going to just turn it over to her to take the lead.
Thank you very much. Mr. Pichon, what I'm going to be doing is reading some allegations of violation of parole against you. You'll need to enter a plea of guilty with a statement, or not guilty. If at any time you need your counsel to assist you, that would be appropriate. Violation for rule number 4. The offender failed to refrain from criminal activity as evidenced by his arrest on or about August of 2021 for possession of Schedule 2. That charge is still pending in St. Tammany Parish. A trial was on 5/18/2026. I assume that did not happen.
That is correct. It ended up getting continued because the state elected to proceed with a different matter.
Okay, so it has been continued until August 10th, 2026.
That is correct.
So how do you plead on that?
I plead not guilty.
Okay. Also, rule violation number 4. You were arrested again on 6/12 of 2025 for domestic abuse battery. You were found guilty at trial on 11/13/25 for domestic abuse battery and simple battery, and sentenced to 6 months of parish jail. How do you plead to that?
Not guilty with a statement.
Not guilty doesn't
Oh,
get a statement, so not guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can explain it in a minute. The offender has failed to pay supervision fees, and you're in arrears of $1,510.
Ever since I lost the city job, my money been kind of funny, so I'm guilty on that, I guess.
Okay. So there have been lots of letters written on your behalf, and I see your family would like to speak. At this time, I'll ask that the family make their statements, and then the attorney can make his statement before we ask any more questions. So, Mr. Fisher, would you like to go first?
I would like to go last, if that's possible, please.
That's fine. And Loretta Butler.
Ms. Butler, you have to unmute your microphone. Very good.
I'm Loretta Butler. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to say that Herbert is my oldest son, and as far as I am concerned, he has been a good son and a good person, and I know he was trying to do the right thing when he was out here. And that's all I have to say. And I love him very much, and I miss him very much. And I wish he'd come home so that he could help me, because I have a lot of health problems, and he used to help me and a lot of other people out.
Thank you. Ms. Pichon, Loutre Pichon? If you'll unmute, and then you can make your statements to the panel. Thank you.
Good morning, Honorable Parole Board. Herbert Jr. is my stepson. I've been in his life since he has been 6 years old. He is a very kind-hearted person. He tries to uphold himself to a standard for his kids. He has 2 minor kids under the age of 6. He's been missing out of their lives for over a year now. He has grown children, 2 additional grown children, adults, and he also have grandchildren. And I really feel in my heart that with everything that is presented, that he is remorseful. He's ready to put this behind him, push forward, and come home. I pray that the parole board will hear our cries and release my stepson. In Jesus' name. That's all I have to say.
Thank you
Thank
very much
you
for your
kindly.
words.
I appreciate it. Yes.
Okay. Mr. Fisher, now would be the appropriate time for you to make your comments.
I just want to comment that, you know, I've known my brother my whole life. My father wasn't in my life, so my brother was kind of like a father to me. I watched him come home 8 years ago, and I was the one who actually went and picked him up from prison. And he promised me he was going to change his life, and I watched my brother change his life. As my brother came home, he immediately started working for the city of Slidell, and he worked for the city of Slidell until the day that he was arrested for riding with his cousins. I don't know if I could speak on it, but the charge that you mentioned earlier was literally less than 2 grams of methamphetamine that my cousin has wrote an affidavit for, that I sent y'all via email. It was in my cousin's bag, and it's a 5-year-old charge that they just would not let go for less than 2 grams, that everyone knows my cousin was an addict. So I just wanted the parole board to take that in consideration, that charge, if it was a strong charge, it would not be 5 years later and still open. So I feel that I don't know if I can say it, but personally, I just feel that holding it over his head to make him look bad. But my cousin has already pleaded out to the charge, did time for the charge. And the biggest part is it was less than 2 grams in one bag, and they're trying to charge 2 people. So I know my whole family needs my brother. I do a lot of traveling, so I know my mother definitely needs my brother, because he's always there helping her. He helps everybody in the family. And I literally watched my brother change his life when he came home. So
Okay.
I know, I just pray that y'all give him a chance. And as far as him being behind on payments, I'll make sure he catches up with the payments. And I run a construction company that focus mostly on demolition and clean up. So if the city already told him, if that charge is dismissed, they will hire him back. But upon the city not hiring him back, he can also come work with me.
Okay. Thank you very much. Mr. Mary, if you would like to make comments on behalf of your client.
I would, and I appreciate the opportunity. Members of the parole board, I forwarded to you some documentation this morning with regard to the open criminal charge. Just in brief, Mr. Pichon was visiting with family members. Walter Fisher, who is Mr. Pichon's first cousin, was in the car and left his backpack containing his identification, but also with some drugs. Ultimately, they were stopped. That backpack was near Herbert's feet because Herbert had ultimately gotten into the front passenger seat of that vehicle. Mr. Finney arrested Herbert as well. They did not arrest the third person who was driving, but that person has informed me that he's intending on appearing before the court when and if we do go to trial on this matter. Additionally, I submitted a copy of the bill of information along with an affidavit executed by Walter Fisher that has been provided to the state of Louisiana. And on top of that, there's also a transcript of a note of evidence that was provided by Mr. Fisher after he pled guilty, where he once again, this is the third time, but the second time under oath, acknowledged that he was in possession of those drugs. But importantly, his driver's license and other identifying materials were in the backpack contained with the drugs. So what the state has is a rather weak, if not unprosecutable case, in my opinion. I do believe, with regard to the conviction for domestic abuse battery, the victim in that matter, Latasha King, is here and would like to speak. And I think that it would be important that you listen to her testimony with regard to the conviction. I did not handle that case. Another lawyer was involved in the defense of that case, but it's my understanding that they're pursuing Mr. Pinchon's appellate rights in that regard. And I would leave it to Latasha. But lastly, I would like to call y'all's attention to an email that I received from Mr. Greg Cromer, who is the former mayor of Slidell. And Greg is very fond of Herbert. He took a chance on Herbert to employ him with regard in connection with the maintenance program for the city of Slidell. Herbert's got a little bit of a checkered past, but Herbert demonstrated to Greg Cromer that he wanted to work and was willing to work, and he demonstrated that. He described him as a model employee. I think one of the most telling things is that he indicates that if Herbert had to be there at 6:30 in the morning, he'd show up at 5:45 and was always asking for overtime. This is a man who paid for his past transgressions and had completely turned his life around. And that's the type of person that he has become. He is a father to two young children. He's been in jail approximately a year. He's paid the price for these transgressions, but I believe that Latasha's statement is going to be impactful to you all, because she will contextualize the incident that led to his arrest in connection with the domestic abuse battery. So I would implore you to read the transcript, read the affidavit executed by Mr. Fisher, who is Herbert's co-defendant. Again, I anticipate getting a successful result for Mr. Pinchon at trial. It is through no fault of ours that this matter has dragged out. The state has elected repeatedly to proceed with other cases in lieu of instead of Mr. Pinchon, and so he has been more or less put on hold. I would have liked to, and we were attempting to get a resolution before we had this matter set for hearing, but we were unsuccessful in that regard. So again, I would ask you to read and consider Mr. Cromer's letter, and if you would review those things and then consider the statements that are about to be made by Ms. Latasha King. I would ask that you put him back on parole. I believe that of the many people that I've represented at parole hearings, Mr. Pinchon is earnestly changed his ways, and he is a victim of being at the wrong place at the wrong time. And he is where he is presently in large measure due to his past, but he is not the person that is represented in his rap sheet. And so I would submit it and respectfully ask you all to consider placing him back on parole.
Okay, thank you for those words. Before we move on, I'd like to request an executive session if my panel would indulge me.
Second.
All right, and I have no objection, so on a unanimous vote, we'll convene an executive session for a few moments to discuss confidential matters. We'll stand by right back.
Is it possible for Herbert and I to be placed in a breakout room? Do we have that capacity?
So can y'all put him in a breakout room by himself? Him and his attorney?
You won't be able to meet your things.
Do what?
We could try.
We haven't had that request before. We can try it. We'll see.
It's an email thing.
She's gonna send something to you.
Perfect. Got it. Thank you. Wait, that's asking to do the executive session. I'm not privy to
Yeah.
that.
It's okay. We can, yeah. It won't be our executive session. That's just the
Okay.
term.
Perfect. Thank you.
She's trying to send it to the Mr. Pichon as well.
Oh,
All right, we are back in regular session without objection. It's 9:31 a.m. And Mrs. Ledoux. Oh, you're still on mute, Ms. Ledoux.
Thank you. I would like to, I'm concerned about the plea of guilty to the domestic abuse battery. I think it would be appropriate to hear from Ms. King about that situation so that I can get a little more clarity. Although he pled guilty
No, ma'am.
and was given,
No, ma'am. I didn't plead guilty.
you were found guilty.
Found guilty.
You were found guilty.
Yes, found
And
guilty.
you served, and it was for 6 months.
Yes, ma'am.
And that was in November of last year. So you're at that end of that 6-month period. So Ms. King, if I can hear from you now, that would be appropriate.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, members of the parole board. I appreciate the opportunity to speak. I have known Herbert for over 20 years, and we have had a relationship for the last 7 years together. We shared 2 children, and throughout the years, I have known him. I have seen him be a loving father, a dedicated provider, and someone who genuinely cares for his family. From my personal experience, I have never known anything negative or from my own personal experience. I've never seen or heard nothing negative about Herbert. The man that I know is a hardworking man. He supports his family. He provides for loved ones, and all the just the time that we've been together, there's nothing that I can say about him besides he's a very good provider. And that night was me and my emotions, me and my feelings. I had just had a baby, and my emotions and feelings was all over the place. And I wanted something then. I could not right then, but I wanted something to happen soon. I wanted to answer. I wanted to be married. And I said, well, we have 2 kids together and we've been together 7 years. I think we deserve to go ahead and do it. And, and that like I said, my feelings and my emotions just turned out real bad on that situation that night. And I just want to say, no family is perfect, and every relationship faces challenges. I do not believe this situation defines who he is as a person. I believe his life, his character, and the way he cares for his family over the years are a much better reflection of who he truly is. I think he deserved an opportunity to move forward with his life, supporting his family and being present for our children. I am before you today because I believe his character, his heart, and his ability to be a positive member for the community. And I respectfully ask that you guys consider and grant him parole and allow him the opportunity to continue building a productive and meaningful life. Thank you for your time and consideration, ma'am.
I'd like to ask, I know that you will always be connected because you have 2 children, but are you planning to resume a relationship?
You
may not be able to answer that.
To be honest, I just have to let God's will be done, ma'am, if I can say so.
Okay. That's always an appropriate answer.
Ms.
Yes.
Ledoux, may I ask her a couple of questions?
That would be fine.
Latasha, do you fear Herbert?
No, sir, not at all.
And just to clarify your statement, y'all were arguing that night because you were persisting in wanting to get married. Is that correct?
Yes.
And that was the basis of the argument. Did Herbert lay hands on you that night?
No.
Okay. And who ended up calling the police? It was not you calling for assistance. It was somebody else. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. So you 2 were arguing with regard to you wanting to get married right now, and Herbert saying, hold on, let's talk this through, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And you don't fear him presently, and you've been involved in these cases and trying to assist Herbert throughout. That's correct?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. King,
Hello?
Ms. King, are you guys living together?
No, sir.
You have not been living together, you just had a relationship?
Yes, and he would come over to see his children and spend time with the children.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I think that I have a better understanding of the situation. You know, domestic abuse violence is a very significant issue in the state of Louisiana. You have served time after being found guilty of that. You know, Mr. Pichon, you had some issues with substance abuse early in your supervision period, noticed increased testing and things like that. So my vote today is going to be to continue you on supervision with some additional conditions that will give me a better grasp of how you're going to do. I'd like for you to take a domestic violence prevention program on the street. You have to not only take it, but finish it. And you also have to have increased drug screens, and you will not be allowed to have any kind of recommendation for THC. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's my vote.
Mr. Bear, do you plan to have a relationship with this young lady?
Yes, sir, because we talk on the phone every day. We never stopped talking since that day. It wasn't nothing serious, like nothing physical, really. It wasn't no physical contact. And we got two kids, so me and her both planned, and since we've been together, we said we don't want our kids to be like we had to be in a broken family, you know. So we're trying to do the best for not just for us, but also for the children.
So you love your kids?
Love her too.
Well, don't you think to go ahead and
Yes,
maybe get
yes, sir. It was just, we went to marriage counseling and everything, and it was just was trying to, I was just telling her, like, you gotta let me go first. She was just trying to force the issue, and I'm telling her, you gotta do this appropriately like it's supposed to be done, you know, so. And that is the plan, because we claim fiance, and, you know, that's what our plans are to get, the plans are is to get married. It's just, I'm just telling her to just slow down, and there was certain little things that we was going through, was trying to work out, trying to get it out the way before we do it, but, you know, I understand her part too.
two kids would kind of want her to get married. So I'm going to vote with Ms. Ledoux and hope that you guys can get it straight.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Pichon, I do agree. Do not revoke, return to supervision with the same special conditions. You understand those conditions?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Well, good luck to you. Good luck to you all. Thank you
Members
for helping us
of the
out.
board, I appreciate y'all bumping us up. I think I'm going to make my flight. You all have a wonderful weekend and be safe.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Thank you, Yahuwah.
There you go, brother.
Thank God, man.
It seemed like your attorney.
Thank you.
Hi, good morning. My name is Ludmila and I will be your interpreter today.
Morning.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Good morning.
good morning. Can you hear us all right?
Sorry, can you speak a little bit closer to the microphone? I cannot hear you well.
Yeah, is this better?
Yes, thank you.
And Mr. Miguel, if you can move forward and say good morning. Just a-
Yes, my name is Ludmila Duccini.
Sí, buenos días. Mi nombre es Miguel Ramos.
Good morning, my name is Miguel Ramos.
Miguel Ramos. Estoy por una edad de aproximadamente 54 años de edad.
Oh, little momento. I don't believe we have officially started, have we?
I don't think so. Could you just give me a minute, please?
If you could let him know that he can relax and stay seated until we start.
Okay, I'm going to let him know. Todavía no hemos comenzado de forma formal, así que vamos a comenzar en unos minutos.
Ok, me puedo expresar a mi persona.
Sí,
Presentar.
ahora un minuto, ahora cuando comencemos.
Ok.
Mientras tanto, se puede relajar y sentarse hasta que comencemos.
Okay, good morning. The Committee on Parole is called to order at, let's see, we're at Assumption Parish Detention Center. We have before us Mr. Miguel Ramos.
Bueno, buen día. Vamos a comenzar con la audiencia de hoy del señor Miguel Ramos.
Yes, and I'd like the interpreter to state your name for the record so we can have it in our record.
Yes, my name is Ludmila Duccini.
All right. Thank you for your service this morning.
Thank you.
And we have, Mr. Ramos has an attorney. Would you enter your name in the record, please?
Y
Yes,
el señor
good morning.
Ramos tiene un abogado. ¿Diría su nombre, por favor?
Yes, good morning. Attorney Amy Kilieris.
Sí, buen día. Mi nombre es la abogada Amy Kilieris.
Okay, I'm going to read some identifying information into the record, and then we'd ask to hear from Mr. Ramos's attorney. She may have some information relevant today for us.
Bueno, voy a decir algunas informaciones para identificarlo, para que quede en la grabación, y luego le vamos a pedir a la abogada que por favor hable y nos diga la información relevante para el día de hoy.
So I'm going to read the information. I'll go slowly so you can, I'll do it in segments so you can tell him what I'm saying. Mr. Ramos was sentenced in June of 2024
Al señor Ramos lo sentenciaron en junio de 2024
for a conviction in Assumption Parish
por una convicción sobre una presunta, sobre una presunta delito,
vehicular homicide, which occurred in December of 2022.
un homicidio en un vehículo que ocurrió en diciembre de 2022.
He received a 15-year sentence.
Le han dado una sentencia de 15 años.
And is that information correct?
¿Es esa información correcta?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So I would like to ask the attorney, you sent over some information, I believe, this morning. What is it that you would like us to know this morning?
Bueno, le voy a
Yeah.
pedir a la abogada que nos ha dado información esta mañana. ¿Cuál es la información que le gustaría que sepamos?
Yes, I sent a one-page document, which is the public record inmate report for Assumption Parish.
Sí, envié un documento de una página que está en los archivos públicos. Es un reporte sobre el delito, el supuesto delito.
The majority of the information is all facts that I'm sure the board is aware of or are in my client's file with the board.
La mayoría de la información son datos que seguro la Junta ya conoce o que también están en el archivo de mi cliente, que también lo tiene la Junta.
I would just ask that you please take note of the fifth line, which indicates there is a detainer with Homeland Security.
Quiero pedirles por favor que tomen notas de la quinta línea que indica que hay una persona detenida de la seguridad de la ciudad.
That detainer is still in play, and it's my understanding that Homeland Security and the immigration courts are waiting to process my client. That detainer has not been lifted.
Quiero decir que esta persona que está detenida, por lo que entiendo, todavía la Seguridad Nacional y los juicios de inmigración están esperando para procesar a mi cliente. Entonces, esa orden de detención todavía no ha sido levantada.
The only other information we have to present today is a statement I prepared to advocate for my client, and he is prepared to speak if the board would like to hear from him.
Yes.
Y la otra información que tenemos para presentar hoy es una declaración que he presentado en nombre de mi cliente y él también está preparado para hablar si a la Junta le gustaría oír de parte de él.
So we'd like to hear what he has to say.
Nos gustaría oír qué es lo que tiene para decir él.
Sí. Mi nombre es Miguel Ramos. Soy
Hi,
originario de Honduras.
my name is Miguel Ramos.
Soy originario de Honduras.
I'm from Honduras.
Tengo 54 años de edad.
I am 54 years old.
Soy casado, tengo mi esposa, tengo mis hijos.
I am married. I have a wife and children.
Sí. Soy una persona muy temerosa a Dios. Siempre he estado apegado pues a las leyes de Dios y en ese momento pues aquí estoy detenido por un accidente cometido, un accidente que sufrí, pues estoy detenido. Espero que en esta precisa mañana me puedan entender, pues soy una persona de que a mis 50 años de edad nunca he sido arrestado, nunca he sido cuestionado con ninguna, con la policía, con ninguna persona ¿me entiende? De gobierno. Yo nunca a mis 50 años de edad, es primera vez que estoy en este problema, en este proceso. Espero me sepan disculpar si alguna vez no les pueda responder bien alguna pregunta.
I am really advocate to God and I really believe in God's rules and his decisions. I am here because I have committed an accident. I hope you can understand that this was just an accident. I have never had any problems. I'm more than 50 years old and I've never been arrested. I have never been questioned about anything. This is the first time. And well, I also want to say that I'm sorry if I cannot answer a question as I'm supposed to.
Okay, let me ask a question or two. So, I would like Mr. Ramos to tell us, how does he feel about what happened to the victim of the homicide and their family?
Bueno, me gustaría hacerle una pregunta o dos. En primer lugar, señor Ramos, me gustaría que nos diga cómo se siente por lo que le pasó a la víctima del homicidio y a su familia.
En este momento, personalmente, pues yo me siento, ¿me entiende? Como deprimido por lo sucedido, pues. Era un muchacho que siempre, pues, le presentaba, lo quería mucho. Siempre trabajábamos juntos. Nunca hemos tenido problemas. Era parte de mi familia, era su sobrino de mi esposa. Pues lamento lo que pasó ese día, porque él y yo sufrimos el terrible accidente. Ese fue un terrible accidente donde, pues, no sé cómo Dios recuperó mi vida. Yo pienso, pues, de que esto sirve para saber de que aquí tenemos que cumplir todo lo que Dios dice en su palabra.
I am really depressed about what happened. I really loved him. He was part of my family. I've never had any problem with him. He was my wife's nephew. So I'm really sorry about what happened. We had a terrible accident, and I don't know why God decided to save my life, but I believe that this proves that we have to trust and do what God wants us to do.
Where is Mr. Ramos's wife and family, children, I guess? Are they here or in Honduras, in the United States or Honduras?
¿Dónde se encuentra su esposa y sus hijos? ¿Están aquí en los Estados Unidos o están en Honduras?
Ellos están aquí, por el momento están aquí. Ya, pues, ellos están nomás esperando que a ver cuál va a ser mi proceso, o sea, cuál es lo que sigue de mi persona para tomar decisiones, ¿me entiende? Somos una familia unida. Nunca soy una persona le puedo decir de que nunca yo he tenido problemas familiares, nunca, siempre nos llevamos como hermanos, toda la familia, desde los suegros hasta los sobrinos de mi familia. Entonces, ahorita ellos están aquí en Estados Unidos.
They are here in the United States. They are waiting until we can see what's going to happen next, and then they will have to make a decision. But we are really close. All of us love each other. We are like every single member of this family is like a sibling to me. And so they are here in the United States.
At the time of this accident, Mr. Ramos had been drinking heavily. Since his incarceration, has he done anything to address that problem?
En el momento del accidente, el señor Ramos ha estado bebiendo bebidas alcohólicas. Desde que lo han encarcelado, ¿ha estado haciendo algo para poder lidiar con ese problema?
En ese aspecto, pues ese día me tomé unas cervezas, pero no soy una persona, ¿me entiende?, alcohólica. Siempre, ese día, pues estábamos en una fecha ya para aproximadamente un 24 de diciembre. El accidente me tocó un día 22 de diciembre, como a eso de las 2 de las 2:40 a 3 de la tarde. Ese fue el día del accidente. Ese día yo estaba trabajando en mi trabajo en Nueva Iberia. Yo vivo en Roma. Trabajé en Nueva Iberia. De Nueva Iberia me regresé con unas personas que traía en la camioneta. Las dejé en Amelia. En Amelia unos amigos me brindaron unas cervezas. Yo no compré cerveza. Yo no, siempre cuando manejaba yo no compraba. Ese día me entretuve con ellos esperando que ese día me iban a dar mi cheque. Y por eso me entretuve y ellos me brindaron unas cervezas, pero eso es un error el que cometí con haberme las tomado. Y eso
I
yo lo he...
only I drank a few beers that day. I'm not an alcoholic. That was in a specific situation, and I know I have committed that was a huge mistake. I was working that day. It was around the 24th of December, those holidays. The accident was the 22nd. So I was with some friends and I was waiting to receive my check, and they offered me some beers. I didn't buy any beers. I haven't I didn't buy those beers. They offered them to me, and I've decided to drink a few, but that was a mistake. I'm not an alcoholic.
All right, thank you. So P is at that jail, are there any programs that address substance abuse issues?
Y en la cárcel en la que está, ¿hay algún programa para lidiar con el abuso de sustancias?
no lo he pedido, ¿me entiendes? Siempre que voy al médico, siempre me preguntan esto, pero yo soy una persona consciente, ¿me entiendes? No lo he pedido porque según mentalmente yo no lo necesito. Como le digo, yo no soy una persona alcohólica. Esto yo lo diré personalmente aquí en la cárcel. Lo que yo traté para pasar un tiempo tranquilo, un tiempo feliz, fue el día que yo terminé mi corte, que enseñé el papel por los 15 años. El siguiente día me recuerdo que mandé un mensaje aquí a la oficina donde solicitaba un trabajo para yo pasar mi mente relajada, pero es un tiempo largo, según pues yo dije, me encanta trabajar, esa es mi pasión, eso es, y aquí estoy trabajando tranquilamente, hago mi trabajo de buena gana y me siento mentalmente feliz.
I've never asked to be part of any program like that. Every time I go to the doctor, he asked me the same question if I have problems with alcohol, and I always answer that I'm not an alcoholic person. So I never thought that I would need to be part of a program like that. What I did was the day that they told me that I was going to spend 15 years here, I asked them to have a job because I know that this is going to be a really long time and I want to spend the time here as happy as possible, and I want to be relaxed and be able to focus on something else. I really love to work, and well, that's my passion. When I have to work, I always do it in the best way possible. So that's what I wanted, but I don't feel like mentally I need to do a program to deal with alcohol problems or something like that.
Okay, just a couple more questions. First would be, how long has Mr. Ramos been in the United States?
Bueno, vamos a hacer un par de preguntas más. En primer lugar, le quiero preguntar, ¿cuánto tiempo ha estado usted en los Estados Unidos?
En los Estados Unidos estoy desde el 2006.
I've been here since 2006, more or less.
Okay, thank you. He has children, I believe, or his children, United States citizens?
¿Sus hijos son ciudadanos de los Estados Unidos?
No.
No.
So I don't really have any more questions. I would just point out a few things, and then I would like to see if Mr. Ramos's attorney has anything to close it out for us. First, he is a first felony offender.
Bueno, no tengo más preguntas para el señor. Ahora me gustaría preguntarle a la abogada si tiene algo más para decir y para cerrar todo esto. Estuve anotando un par de cosas. Lo primero que quiero decir es que él es una persona que ha cometido en primera mano un delito grave.
He is a trustee at the jail. He has no rights that I can find.
Él es un administrador fiduciario en la prisión y no tiene derechos que pueda encontrar aquí.
So, Ms. Caliares, is there anything you would like to say to us before we vote?
Así que me gustaría preguntarle a la abogada, Miss Cagliari, si tiene algo más para decir antes de que votemos.
With the assistance of my client, I have prepared a statement. I will make it as brief as I can and take it in 2 or 3 sentences for the benefit of the interpreter.
Con la asistencia de mi cliente, he preparado una declaración, lo voy a hacer de la forma más breve y voy a hablar en 1 o 2 o 3 oraciones para que el intérprete pueda interpretar de mejor manera.
My client stated to me that there is no way to undo the tragedy that brought us here today, but that he accepts full responsibility for his actions.
Mi cliente dijo que no hay manera de deshacer la tragedia que nos ha traído hasta aquí el día de hoy, pero que acepta que tiene responsabilidad completa por sus acciones.
He made the decision to drive while intoxicated, and as a result, a young man, his beloved nephew, lost his life.
Él ha tomado la decisión de manejar aunque estaba intoxicado y como resultado de eso un joven, su amado sobrino, ha perdido la vida.
He does not seek to excuse his conduct. He does understand that his family will carry this loss forever.
Él no busca justificar su conducta, él entiende que su familia va a tener que lidiar con esta pérdida toda su vida.
He has carried that loss every day since the accident. The fact that he survived while his nephew did not is something he struggles with deeply.
Él tiene que sufrir todos los días desde este accidente porque el hecho de que él haya sobrevivido mientras que su sobrino no lo haya logrado es algo con lo que él tiene que luchar y que le afecta muchísimo.
He knows that no amounts of remorse can change what happened, but he has spent his incarceration reflecting on the consequences of his choices, committing himself to never repeating them, and committing himself to service.
Sabe que no hay ninguna cantidad de remordimiento que pueda cambiar lo que ha sucedido, pero él ha estado encarcelado y ha estado reflexionando sobre las consecuencias de sus decisiones y ha decidido que jamás va a repetirlas de nuevo y está dispuesto a favorecer y hacer servicios para la comunidad.
He has sought forgiveness from God and now has the strength of faith to understand that he must embrace the consequences of his actions, even though they result from a one-time mistake.
Él le pide perdón a Dios y cree mucho y se sigue sosteniendo gracias a la fuerza de la fe y entiende que debe lidiar con las consecuencias de sus acciones, aunque hayan resultado en un error de una sola vez.
Today, he is not asking the board to erase his punishment or lessen the gravity of what occurred.
Hoy lo que él está pidiendo aquí a la Junta no es que eliminen su castigo o que disminuyan la gravedad de lo que ha ocurrido.
If parole is denied, he tells me he will continue his sentence without bitterness or complaint because he understands why he is here.
Si se le niega la libertad condicional, él me dice que va a continuar con su sentencia sin amargura y sin quejas porque entiende por qué está aquí.
He's made peace with the fact he's caused irreversible harm and he accepts accountability for that harm.
Él ha logrado hacer las paces con el hecho de que ha causado un daño irreversible y se hace cargo de ese daño.
However, if granted parole, he will not be returning to the community in Louisiana.
Pero si le dan la libertad condicional, él va a devolvérselo a la comunidad de Luisiana.
As evidenced by the exhibit I have submitted, he has an ICE detainer and will be transported to immigration authorities for removal proceedings.
Y, perdón, él no va a estar en la comunidad de Luisiana si le dan la libertad condicional. Y como está evidenciado en las pruebas que he enviado, tenemos a una persona de ICE que se va a encargar de transportarlo a las autoridades inmigratorias para que hagan el procedimiento debido.
It is a certainty that he will be deported to Honduras, and he accepts that, as well as the certainty that he will be banned from the United States permanently and thereby separated from his family.
Él está de acuerdo con que va a ser deportado a Honduras y acepta que también él va a estar baneado de los Estados Unidos de forma permanente y va a estar separado de su familia.
He understands and accepts that he will leave behind his friends and the life he built in the United States over the last 20 years.
Él entiende y acepta que va a dejar atrás a sus amigos y a la vida que ha construido en los Estados Unidos en estos últimos 20 años.
He does not view deportation as an escape from responsibility, but as another consequence of the decisions that brought him before the board today.
Él no ve el hecho de que lo deporten como un escape de la responsabilidad, sino que para él esto es una consecuencia de las decisiones que ha tomado y que lo han traído a que esté frente a esta junta el día de hoy.
In Honduras, he has a stable and realistic plan for his return. He owns farmland in Honduras where he intends to live and work his farm.
En Honduras, él tiene un plan estable y realista para hacer cuando vuelva. Tiene un campo en Honduras donde él va a decidir trabajar y vivir el resto del tiempo.
With the current caretaker, he will continue to grow coffee, beans, and corn and commit himself to a humble life.
Con el cuidador actual, él va a continuar cultivando café, habichuelas y maíz y va a estar va a llevar una vida muy humilde.
His agricultural work will be enough in Honduras to support him through lawful employment, and he intends to maintain contact with his family and friends from afar.
Él dice que el trabajo en la agricultura va a ser suficiente en Honduras para que él pueda vivir con un trabajo en blanco y siguiendo las leyes. Y él dice que también va a seguir en contacto con su familia y amigos desde lejos.
Again, his request for parole is not a request to erase responsibility. It's a recognition that rehabilitation of the spirit has occurred, and that his continued incarceration is no longer necessary to protect the public.
Nuevamente, su petición de libertad condicional no es una petición de que le saque la responsabilidad, sino que es un reconocimiento de su responsabilidad. Él es una rehabilitación para él y creemos que siga encarcelado ya no es necesario para que el público y la comunidad estén protegidas.
The client respectfully asks the board for the opportunity to spend the remainder of his life proving that this tragedy will not define every chapter that follows him.
El cliente le pide con mucho respeto al tribunal la oportunidad de pasar el resto de su vida demostrando que esta tragedia no va a definir todos los capítulos que siguen de su vida.
Thank you for your time.
Muchas gracias por su tiempo.
I think we are prepared to vote. I'll be voting first. My
Bueno,
vote
creo que
to-
estamos
Go ahead.
preparados para votar. Voy a votar primera.
My vote today is to grant the parole to the ICE detainer.
Mi voto el día de hoy es darle libertad condicional al detenido.
Mr. Tillis.
My vote also is to grant.
Mi voto también es darle libertad condicional.
My vote is to grant parole to the ICE detainer, and if not deported, he should be returned to the custody of DOC.
Mi voto es brindarle la libertad condicional al detenido de ICE y si no es deportado debería volver a la custodia de DSC.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Yes. Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
All right, good morning. We are now at CATAHOULA Correctional Center. I'd like to ask, I don't know, can the staff member there hear what I'm saying?
Ma'am.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning, ma'am. I just would like for you to introduce yourself just so we have you in the record. Could you tell us your name and your rank?
My name is Tanya Stevenson, the DOC Transition Specialist.
Oh, okay, good. Well, before we get, I'm going to ask him to identify himself, and then I'm going to ask you for any information you can provide about his stay with you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Mr. White, would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and your DOC number.
Yes, ma'am. How you doing? My name is Robert White. My DOC number is 444-181.
All right, sorry. I'm going to read some identifying information into the record, but first I want to let you know we have some folks here in Baton Rouge with us who are here in support. We have your parents.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Dorothy and Mr. Robert. Your dad wants to say something on your behalf, and we'll ask him to do so just in a few moments. We also have someone from the District Attorney's Office in Jefferson Parish, Mr. Randall Meyer. We'll call on him too. He has some words to say. But first, let me just put the identifiers in the record, and then if you would give the headphones back to Ms. Stevenson.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're here today. Let's see, you were sentenced in Jefferson Parish, March of 2020. You received a 25-year sentence as a habitual offender. The offense is possession with the intent to distribute heroin, possession with intent to distribute cocaine, and distribution of cocaine. Your parole eligibility date has passed. It's December 2025, and you have a mandatory good time release date in April of 2044.
Yes,
Does all
ma'am.
that sound right? That's
Yes, ma'am.
correct? Okay, I'd like to go ahead and let Ms. Stevenson tell us what she.
Yes, ma'am.
So how do you know how long he's been in CATAHOULA?
I don't know how long he's been here. Do you have a rap sheet?
Well, I can look it up. That's okay. Are you familiar with Mr. White at all?
Yes, I am. He was enrolled in my Thank You for a Change class and also my Victim Impact class. He has 0 write-ups while being housed here at this facility. And he's also housed in the Faith and Character dorm. And he is a facilitator for Life's Healing Choices and Malachi Dads.
So he did complete Thinking for Change in the Victim Impact
Yes,
program?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am, he did.
Okay, good. So he's been there since February of 2024.
Yes, ma'am. That's what he said. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get back to him.
Okay.
Thank you. So why were you involved in all that activity?
Oh, because I want to change my life. I want to do something different.
No, I'm sorry. The criminal activity is what I'm referring to.
Oh, I'm sorry. Why was I involved with it?
Yes.
I allowed myself to start hanging around people that wasn't good for me, and I wound up getting back involved with those things. I mean, it wasn't no excuse for it, but I mean, you know, I just started to hang around the wrong crowd.
Well, you've been doing that for a while, haven't you? So you have an extensive drug-related criminal history dating back all the way over 25 years. Prior convictions include cocaine, marijuana, distribution, and then you have poor supervision history. At least I see 2, I think, prior periods of supervision where you were revoked because of new criminal conduct. So tell us what has changed since then about you.
I mean, everything. I mean, what my goals and what I want to do in my life. I want to be a better role model for my kids and my grandkids. I don't know. I don't want to spend the rest of my life here. I mean, I guess the first time I got him convicted, you know, they give me 5 years, and then the next time they gave me 15 years, and now they give me 25 years. I don't want to die in jail. You know, I want my mother and father to be proud.
Tell us about those plans. You said you had set goals.
Okay, I want to try to do something with the youth, like those classes that I'm doing, that I'm facilitating, and just talking to a lot of the young people that I have a chance to talk to. So when I'm released, I would like to be some kind of, you know, kind of help them in a way. I think maybe they can learn from some of the mistakes that I made.
So what kind of, you know, you have, as I mentioned, you have a drug history. You were a user, and
Yes, ma'am, I have used drugs.
and so how do you mentor folks that you're incarcerated with about that?
Just letting them know like some of the reasons that I did use drugs, and you know, I mean, the path that it took me on, and trying to prepare them for, you know, not to have to go down that path to learn. You know what I'm saying? To have to do all, you know, a lot of time in jail or hurt your family and people that care about you. Just
Well, what I was getting at is that, I know that, you know, prisons are just like the street. There's drugs in prison. How do you discourage drug use in prison?
oh yeah, I don't do drugs, and I don't recommend that they do drugs. I mean, you know, it's like most of the people that I have a chance to mentor to, they on the other side of the facility, the other side of the compound. So I can't be in a dome with them. The dome I'm in is like a faith-based dome.
Oh.
So, you know, there's not many drugs in there.
Mhm.
But I mean, I relate to them because I've been in that dome, and I know it's real hectic.
If you were successful, what would you do to support yourself and your family?
Working the chemical plants before I come to jail. I mean, my story, I messed up, and I really don't have no excuse for it. But I mean, I was doing good. I started working in the chemical plants. I worked there about 4 or 5 years before I came back to jail. And I want to get back in that work. I was working with a company called Total Safety. I was a safety technician, and I want to go and get my certificates and be a safety man.
So how long you been sober?
Um, 8 years. I mean, I've been in jail 7.5.
So how do you stay sober, and you know, what have you done what helps you to stay sober?
Thinking about my future. I mean, I understand like what drugs could do. Ma'am, this is my first time. I've always sell drugs. I always sold drugs, and this is my first time selling heroin. And I mean, like just me being experienced and seeing what it's doing to people, and what it's doing to people's family. You know, like I don't wanna have no part in that. I want my grandkids, somebody to look at me like a role model. And I mean, drugs is not the way. It wasn't the way for me. Like I've spent, even though it's like I've been, you know, I got these convictions, and I've been going back and forth to jail for 25 years. Most of it has been in jail. Like, I mean, when I get released, I don't stay out selling drugs for a long period of time, because I go right back to jail and spend the next 7, 8 years in there. You know what I'm saying? So as I'm making these mistakes, and it's costing me greatly.
It took you so long to figure that out.
I thought I figured it out last time. But I say like bad association spurs of good habits. It was like somebody that was there in my family, and I was doing good. I came home in 2012. I got my TWIC card in 2014 after being denied, and I applied for it again. I was working 2 jobs, and I wound up getting in plants, and I wound up having somebody that was close to me in my life came home, and I started interacting with them. And instead of me getting them to do what I was doing, I started doing what they was doing. So instead of being a good influence on them, I allowed them to influence me to go back to what I was doing.
Right. Okay. So listen, before, I'm going to open it up for my colleagues' questions, but first we'd like to hear from your father and we'd like to hear from the DA. So first, Mr. Hutchinson, would you step up to the podium, sir? Good morning.
Good morning. I've been hoping and praying that my son get out here, be able to play these over there and play with possible he got grandchildren. So I think he learned his lesson. I think he ready for society, and we've been hoping and praying for that when he get out, he'll be able to go through.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you, man.
Mr. Meyer?
Good morning, Randall Meyer, Assistant DA, Jefferson Parish. It kind of sounds like Mr. White is turning the corner. My issue is giving him the tools that he needs to stay drug free and to get out of that system. Looking at his annual assessment, it says he still needs a 12-step program, which is important. And y'all know how I feel about the AA and drug treatment programs. And I think a long-term drug treatment program is something that would be beneficial to him. And it'll help to teach him how and why to stay away from the drugs. I think that's an important thing for him to get to help him stay away. And from what I see, he hadn't had 100 hours. I think he needs to get 100 hours too before he could be released. So, I would like to see him get a long-term substance abuse treatment program completed prior to his release, and then allow him to get out early. Because I think the other thing is both of his revocations were due to drug offenses. So that just another factor I think that suggests that's a good plan for him. Thank you.
We appreciate you being here this morning.
Yeah.
So,
I'm sorry. I hate to interrupt. Can I say something about that?
yeah.
I had wrote the parole board maybe like a couple of years ago, and I was trying to get into the Steve Harrier program, and I was talking to them, and they asked me, could I get the parole board to do a recommendation letter? And I still got the paperwork with me today, but they said they didn't do it. They can't do the recommendation.
Have you ever been to the parole board before?
Yes, ma'am. Last year.
Last year?
I got denied last year. Yes, ma'am.
Well, let me just sit back and listen to see if my colleagues have any questions for you.
Yes, ma'am.
How much time have you served in jail?
On this conviction or all together? Let me see, maybe 18 years, 18, 19 years. My last two Josephs was 7 years. I did 7 last time, and I've been out 8 this time. And I did like 2.5 my first time.
And how long have you been, how much time have you served on the last charges?
I've been out almost 8 years, and February will be 8 years on this conviction.
So you've been trying to get into some classes to better yourself.
Yes, sir.
What classes have you taken?
I completed the faith and character based dome. It's like a year. You got to be in a dormitory. I completed the victim impact. I completed thinking for a change, life healing choices. And I'm currently facilitating those 2 classes. And one of my classes just graduated, the life healing choices. And I got my what is that? The risk management phase 1 and 2. And I got my TWIC card. I mean, not my TWIC card, I'm sorry, my forklifting. I'm so nervous. I got the forklifting program.
To get that TWIC card, it's very you were lucky to get that.
I was. They denied me the first 2 times, and by me working 2 jobs, and I got my parole officer to write letters, and I got the people at my job saying how good of a worker I was, and they wound up giving it to me. I felt like it was a big accomplishment. So I'm hoping when I go home this time, that I could just get it renewed versus me trying to go through the whole process again.
I see. I have no more questions.
Ms. Ledoux, any questions?
I think a lot like Mr. Myers in the fact that we can't let you out until you have firmly received all of the tools necessary for your successful reentry. You keep failing, and that concerns me. So I'll be prepared, Ms. Chairman, at the proper time to vote.
So, Mr. White, I do see, I sat on your panel last year,
Yes, ma'am,
last
you
June,
did.
sure did.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
I voted to deny you. But today, my vote will be to grant your release, but after you finish the Steve Hoyle program, and that seems like something you want to do. And
Yes, ma'am.
as a part of that program, it's very critical that you do the 100-hour pre-release, and I'll write that down so that they incorporate that into whatever program they put you in.
Yes, ma'am.
And then after release, if you successfully complete that program, which I think you will,
I will.
I will add a special condition of release, and that is that you do speak to at-risk youth.
Yes,
Share
ma'am.
your story. Maybe you can change another kid's life. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you
Mr.
very much.
Mr. White, it seemed like you keep just bouncing around doing the wrong thing, and it's hard to. I concur with my colleague, Ms. Renata, that you take these other courses and classes, but I hope you don't. I hope you take it seriously this time.
I do.
Ms. Ledoux.
Understand, Mr. White, that dealing drugs is not a victimless crime. Okay. And my vote today would be to concur with the chairwoman to send you to a long-term substance abuse treatment program with pre-release incorporated prior to release.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Quick scanning. No, I'm just kidding. Every time I look like crap, it's on that trip. We do these. Let's see, we up. Yeah, I'm sure you can have this chart. Yeah. Cross your fingers, cross your toes. No.
Whatever they ask, tell the truth, because I already know. Yeah, they'll ask you questions and stuff like that, but just be honest with them up front. Um, I think, they may ask you, tell your story while he's here, you know, what got you here. They may ask you to do that. They normally do. I know you've been doing good at your job.
Right?
Working your butt off though.
Time, sure.
I know. You've made some good money though. So when you do get out of here, you'll
I'm trying to balance property.
have you something to start with, so that'd be good.
On blood drive, I'd be saying, manufactured homes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of, I'm looking to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, good morning. We're now at, the parole board's now at Southwest Correctional Center. Like to get the staff member to introduce yourself for the record, please.
Cheryl Cook, working administrative here. Sitting here by him. He's a good guy. Just want y'all to know, if y'all ever consider anybody, he's a good person.
Okay. Well, thank
you. No trouble here whatsoever.
All right, Mr. Piper, would you introduce yourself? Tell us the name and DOC number.
My name is John Piper, DOC number 560-885.
So, Mr. Piper, you're currently serving a 21-year sentence. You were sentenced, let's see, to a 10-year DOC sentence and a 5-year DOC sentence consecutive. Your offenses were possession with intent to distribute cocaine and possession of methamphetamine. You were sentenced in October of 2021. Does all that sound right?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me just acknowledge you have a friend, Mr. Darren Davis has joined us. He'll be on Zoom and wishes to speak. We'll ask him to do so. But your case has been assigned to Mrs. Ledoux. I'm going to turn it over to her, sir.
Mr. Piper, you're a fourth-class offender, it looks like. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
All of those charges were drug-related?
Yes, ma'am.
But if I asked somebody in DeRidder Police Department if they knew your name, they would know your name?
Probably so, yes, ma'am.
Okay. So tell me, have you ever had successful employment?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
Where have you worked?
I was a manager at Burger King once before. I also worked on McGinney's plumbing service on post, but I had stopped working there because we couldn't get through the gate no more for being a convicted felon.
Mm-hmm. So what's the longest time you've ever had employment?
When I was at Burger King, I would say like 3.5 years.
Where are you currently working in transitional work?
Metal plate, ma'am.
Where?
Metal plate. I've been here since October of 23.
And what do you do there?
I'm a crane operator.
Are you a certified crane operator?
Yes, ma'am. Overhead crane with the remote. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have you had, I see you've had living imbalance. Have you had pre-release yet?
No, ma'am. I actually wrote for it here, but they don't give it to people that's on TWP side. It's only for step participants. I believe I put the letter in my parole package to y'all. Well, I was denied.
So may I ask the specialist there, is there any way he can do pre-release and continue with TWP?
He can't do it here. They would have to transfer him somewhere that offered it for them.
Okay. Pre-release is required prior to release. Okay. So, who are the victims in your crimes?
I would consider the victims would be the children and the parents I sold drugs to, man.
How many people do you think you've affected over the years?
I honestly don't know. I would have to say anybody I sold drugs to, I affected a household some kind of way.
So did you personally take drugs or just sell them?
I just sold them, man. I smoked marijuana here and there, but mostly I sold drugs, man.
Okay. I would ask if my colleagues have any other questions.
How long have you been incarcerated?
I've been incarcerated here at TWP since October of 21.
And how much time did you spend in jail prior to that?
Say like about 3 months. I got arrested July the 6th of 21, and I got sent here in October of 21.
Do you feel you've made a change, or are you ready to turn your life around?
Yes, sir, I do. I'm no longer the boy that you read about in your file. The man that you see here today is more focused, more humble, more disciplined than I ever been.
What caused you to do that? What do you think caused you to get your life together? Sometimes some people fall in a hole with something and realize they're going the wrong way.
Living in balance actually made me realize a lot of things about myself. I used to justify my actions. You know, I blame others for the things that I was doing. But like Miss Christie said, every time you point a finger at somebody else, it's 3 pointing back at you. You know, and I just never took accountability on my actions. And now I do.
What are your plans if released?
To continue working at Metal Plate. I actually want to get my son and bring him with me because he's having a little trouble at home now. You know, and I don't want him to follow in the footsteps that I took. So I would like to move closer to the Jennings area, so I can continue working at Metal Plate and bring my son along with me.
What about helping some other kids, giving your story to other kids to try to help them from making the same mistake you made?
Like a philanthropist, that would be nice if I could just talk in front of people. You know, I'm nervous now, as you could tell. You know, if I could be able to talk in front of a large crowd, then I would love to do that. I would love to change somebody else's life around, you know, for the better.
Okay, I have no questions.
So where's your any family? I know we have your friend, but where's your family?
My mama passed in April of 2004, and my dad wasn't around.
So where does you have a son, you say?
Yes, ma'am.
Where's he stay?
He stayed in Bastrop, Louisiana.
With who?
With his mama.
What's your relationship with his mother?
Oh, it's great, actually. You know, now that we're no longer together, it actually got better.
So, because I think you said you want to move closer to Jennings and get your son. Is that what you said?
Yes, ma'am.
You mean like visitation or custody?
Custody, actually.
Okay. Ms. Ledoux, did we hear from
Davis.
Mr. Davis?
No, we have not. It would be appropriate to hear from him now.
Mr. Davis, are you on Zoom with us?
Yes, ma'am.
What would you like us to know?
John Piper, he been a friend of mine since, I don't know, since diapers. You know, I was there when he lost his mom. I've been there with his kids. And we share a similar story. So my DOC number 504602. We both kind of grew up in the same struggle, and we also use the same excuses. So, you know, I was blessed to be able to kind of be able to give him a little insight of what it's like to live, you know, a regular life, because we come from where we feel like, you know, we got to be the big drug dealer to be able to, you know, get some type of validation from people when and you know, I had to go through the penal system. I had to, you know, do all the things that he going through now. So it's good for me to went through this. So now that he coming home, you know, I can help him make those steps that and avoid some of those mistakes that I made because I didn't have no one there to show me. So I had to get out and bump my head a lot of times. But you know, I'm blessed to be able to make it through it. So when he come home, a lot of these stuff he ain't gotta experience. You know, I can guide him through it. So you know, I've been there along the ride. I've been there along the ride.
Oh, that's a question. How far did you go in school?
Sir?
How far did you go in school, Mr. Piper?
11th grade. I got my GED.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I got my GED in 2013.
Why not continue? Why did you continue?
I was lazy, and I wanted the fast money. I didn't see that far ahead. I was a lazy individual. I'd rather sit on my butt and make money like that instead of doing the hard work that I'm doing now.
What about, how old is your son?
My son will be 17, July the 25th.
What grade is he?
He's in 11th right now. Well, he passed the 12th, I'm sorry.
You think he ought to stop or you think he ought to continue?
I'm sorry?
Think he ought to stop school or continue?
Oh no, we're gonna continue school. We're gonna continue school and try to go farther than that if we can.
It would be good for you to do the same too, don't you think?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have no questions.
Ms. Ledoux?
You know, Mr. Piper, I am very, very glad that you are in the transition work program. I think that this job has been excellent for you. In my understanding, you do need pre-release. If I were to grant you with completion of pre-release, you would have to be moved. And I think that would interfere with the goal of you maintaining employment. And so today, while it sounds like negative, my vote is going to be to deny your parole. You'll be able to stay in the transition work program until you leave in 27, which won't hurt you. You'll still be working at that time. So that's just my vote today. Thank you.
My vote will be to grant with conditions that you be moved to pre-release to another facility to get pre-release in the other classes that you need.
Well, Mr. Piper, you didn't get the vote you needed today. You know how it works. It requires a unanimous vote. Are you currently enrolled in any programs?
No, ma'am. I took all the programs I could take here.
Did you get all the good time credit that you could for that?
Yes, ma'am. I got a total of 450 days of good time.
Good for you. Why wasn't pre-release in that program?
It's not available to the TWP side. It's only available to the STEP participants.
All right. Well, Mr. Piper, you know, the die is already cast. You didn't get the votes you needed.
Yes,
I do tend to believe that keeping your job is probably the best spot for you right now. Rather than move you to a facility to get that pre-release program, unless they can move you to the other side and give it. I wish they could give it to the TWP side.
Yes, ma'am.
Take that, and then I would be willing to release you now, but I don't want to have to move you somewhere else and make you lose your job. So my vote today is going to be to deny your parole for that reason only. You do have opposition, and don't get me wrong, there is a lot of opposition from law enforcement. And you mentioned you figured the people locally would know who you were if we asked them who you were, but you know, so they're kind of opposed because they're just looking at your history, not at what you've accomplished. But I think the best, you have a good plan in place, you have a good job, you have good goals. Just stay that course. You'll be home before you know it. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, good morning, Miss, we're in Avoyelles, at the Avoyelles jail. And are you in Marksville? You're on mute still.
Yes, ma'am.
There we go. Somebody got it. Well, Mr. Augustine, would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and DOC number.
Yes, ma'am. I'm Leonard Augustine, DOC number 601888.
And we're here for a revocation
Yes, ma'am.
decision today. Do you have your parole revocation questionnaire there with you? Any paperwork at all?
Yes,
If
ma'am.
not, if not, we can put it up on the screen. I just need to verify that it's your signature on that document.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll put it up on the screen. Stand by just a second. Okay, you see it? And
Yes,
look,
ma'am. Yes,
is
ma'am.
that your signature at the bottom of that page?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Oh, okay, thank you, sir. Based on the information contained in that document, it was determined before your preliminary hearing, you're not eligible for us to appoint you a lawyer. So are you ready to proceed without a lawyer this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Your case this morning, Mr. Augustine, has been assigned to Mr. Tillis. I'll turn it over to you.
Good morning, Mr. Augustine. How are you?
I'm finding yourself.
Good. I'm going to read some violations and you can answer guilty, not guilty, or with a statement. Violation number 4, on or about 4/24/26, you were arrested by the Marksville Police Department in the offense of theft and simple battery. You were booked and detained at the Avoyelles jail. He has appeared in Marksville City Court for charges for his 4/24 arrest. He was sentenced to a short sentence and given credit time served. How do you plead?
Guilty.
Violation number 6. You failed to provide proof of gainful employment. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Okay, you want to make a statement for that not guilty?
Okay, so when I had went to the parole board up there seeing my parole officer and things, I wasn't informed that I was supposed to come back and let him know that I was looking for a job. I didn't know that part.
How long have you been out on parole?
A little over 4 months, sir.
This is your first time being on parole?
No, sir.
Okay. And the last time you were on parole, did you have a problem with this?
No, sir. To be honest with you, I wasn't doing the right things that time. See, this time I was trying to do the right things. I was going to see him. I really did went look for a job and things like that. But I didn't know that I was supposed to make that appointment to him, let him know that I was looking for a job.
And what happened when you were arrested? What happened there? You pled guilty, which is self-explanatory, but what happened to you then?
I came to jail.
No, I'm saying, why did you commit the crime?
Well, to be honest with you, sir, I was moving kind of fast out there. I wasn't thinking straight, you know. It was just so much, you know. I could keep going on and on.
It's okay. You said you were guilty, so it's okay. No problem. Any of my colleagues have any questions?
I have none.
I'd like to know, Mr. Augustine, were you on drugs while you were out?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
So what was your drug of choice?
Methamphetamines.
So probably not a question I should ask, but so how have you dealt with things since you've been incarcerated since April?
Well, to be honest with you, I really feel stupid for those little petty crimes that I have committed because I know I'm smarter than that. And I would really like a second chance out there because I see everything that I have valued out there is gone now, you know. And
Okay, but you're a sixth felony offender, so we can't talk second chances. You've had 6 felony convictions. Okay.
Yes,
So you've been doing drugs since you've been out. How did you pay your supervision fees?
I really didn't. I really wasn't.
Okay, so you never paid your fees?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And that's all I needed to ask. Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna hear from Mr. Gillott, your parole officer. He's on Zoom. Can we get him now?
Yeah, there it is.
Okay.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you. What can you tell us about Mr. Augustine?
Yes, sir. Just for an introduction, Officer Ethan Gia with probation and parole. Upon his release, Mr. Augustine was a bit hard to find, kind of, I think, provided either an incorrect address or was confused on the number. I later located him at his sister's house, which I did see him at least once. I need to add to this hearing that on Monday afternoon, I received a report from the Vol Sheriff's Office about an incident that occurred on June 20th in the jail, where he was charged with aggravated second-degree battery. So I know since that time, that was just, like I said, received that Monday afternoon. I don't know if that needs to get processed through with anything else. I obtained the initial affidavit and arrest warrant, and some footage from the jail that I wasn't able to view yet.
Hey, thank you so much. Any of your colleagues have any more questions? Ms. Ledoux? I'm prepared.
No, I think that sounds definitive. Thank you.
I'm prepared to vote. Today, my vote's going to be to revoke for violation number 4 and number 6.
Ms. Ledoux?
I concur with my colleague. My vote is to revoke.
Mr. Augustine, my vote today also is to revoke based on what you've told us and then what Mr. Guillot has told us, and you violated condition number 4 and number 6. So today, sir, your parole's revoked. Thank you, Mr. Guillot, for joining us today.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good morning. The Committee on Parole is now at the WINN Parish Jail. And I believe we are ready for Mr. Corry Williams. Is he there? The folks at WINN may need to turn your camera on. And
You can probably hear it. No, she can be personal, open break. Break out rooms, take away to be. Okay.
all right, good. There you are. So the Committee on Parole is now at the Vernon Parish Jail, and we have before us Mr. Bobby. How do you say your name?
Bobby Ray Stozel, ma'am.
Stozel.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
didn't pronounce that. And what's your DOC number, Mr. Stozel?
455900.
All right, hang on. I got to get to your record. We jumped in real quick to your facility, and we'll get started just a minute. Let's see. So we're here for a revocation proceeding. You got some paperwork there with you? Is that your parole revocation questionnaire?
Yes, ma'am.
So at the bottom of that page, is that your signature?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, based on that information, Mr. Stolzle, you're not eligible for us to appoint you a lawyer, so you're ready to proceed with that one today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, your case was assigned to me, so I'm gonna read the allegations against you, the violation allegations, and ask you to enter a plea of guilty with a statement, or not guilty. And then we'll talk. Okay, so the first one is condition number 2. It says you violated condition number 2, and in that you failed to report monthly to your parole officer. You last reported December 4th, 2024. How do you plead to that violation?
Well, I plead not guilty, ma'am, because, I entered treatment at New Day Recovery and.
All right, wait. Before you go there, so you're pleading not guilty with a statement? We'll get the statement in just a few minutes. You can explain it in just a minute. So I'm going to state that you entered a plea of not guilty. And I'm going to get your statement. Hold on. Let me read all the allegations first. The next one is condition number 3, and it says you moved from your listed residence without permission. You advised you entered treatment, but failed to keep contact with probation and parole office, and your whereabouts were unknown until you were arrested by Vernon Parish Sheriff's Office, April 22nd, 26. How do you plead to violating condition number 3?
Not guilty with a statement.
Not guilty. Number 4 says you committed theft, which led to your arrest on April 22nd by the Vernon Parish. How do you plead to violating number 4?
Guilty, I took a $4.25 Red Bull from the dollar store.
Condition number 9 says that a violation occurred in that you moved from your listed residence, making home visits impossible. So how do you plead to violating number 9?
Not guilty with a statement.
Okay, so tell us about it. Tell us about your treatment.
Yes, ma'am. So you want me to go back to number 2?
Yeah, I mean, they're all related.
Okay.
Other than the theft.
When I got out of prison from Allen Correction Center, I was staying in with my brother in Rosetown, Louisiana. And, you know, the situation that was around me, I noticed what was going on there and I needed out of there. So I called my parole officer and told him I was going to New Day. I went and checked myself into Ocean Behavior Hospital in DeRidder, Louisiana. Got back on my medication for schizophrenia, my injections, and then they asked me if I wanted to go to rehab. So I notified, which it states in here, that I called my parole officer and told him I was going from Oceans to New Day, and I did so, and I got out of around any drugs or anything like that. I got clean. I've been clean since I got out of prison, and even I tested clean when I got here to BPSO. But I went to New Day Recovery, and after I finished it, I went to a crisis stabilization program for Volunteers of America in Lake Charles, Louisiana. And once I completed that, I come back here, and then by then I had a warrant out for my arrest. But my parole officer told me, he was proud of me. And, I tried to call him several other times, and he was deployed. He's in the military here, Fort Polk, Louisiana. Well, he was deployed or whatever, and, I couldn't reach him on his cell phone. So, that's the deal with the treatment. But I went and got clean. I have a certificate of completion. They've been working on trying to get the copy of it here at BPSO. Me and Captain Williams both notified them to do so.
Wait. When did you go to treatment? Were you admitted to treatment?
Let me see here. I want to say, because this paperwork says it's wrong clearly, because it says on 5/13/26, STOLZLE stated he called from New Day Recovery, which I got arrested 4/22/26, so that's impossible. And then the other dates are 8/8/26, so that's incorrect as well on here, because that's not even here yet. But I want to say it was April of 25, I think I went to treatment. I got out October and went to the process stabilization program for 4 months.
So where were you between December of 2024 and when you entered treatment in April of 25?
From
It says you didn't report since failed to report monthly. The last time you reported was December 4th, 2024.
Okay, so December 2024.
And I do see in the record, I do see some discussion about your, being at your sister's house and so on and so forth, entering treatment, going to sober living. Tell us about the theft.
The theft. Okay, so I was out there, I was sober. I've been walking for several miles. I don't have no vehicle. I didn't have a phone at the time, and I was walking. I've been walking for a while, and I went by the dollar store, went in there, grabbed a Red Bull energy drink, $4 some change, and stuck it in my pants pocket. Looked at the line, there was like 10 people in line, and I just walked out of there. I'm being straight honest, that's what I did, and I'm very sorry about it. I won't ever take nothing else ever again, you know, and, I was just needing, you know, some energy and I was thirsty and, but, you know, I know that's not right and I know.
You mentioned mental health treatment. Are you currently being treated for mental health issues?
Yes, ma'am, I'm diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia and, filed for my disability 3 years ago, whatever, got Overton environment disability consultant, in the making to get my disability, I take Risperidone and some schizophrenia medicine here at the jail. They give it to me. You know, I hear voices daily. You know, weekly, daily, and they trying to get it together for me. Yes, ma'am.
Oh. Do you think that had anything to do with what happened to you at the with the Red Bull? Were you on your meds then?
No, ma'am, I was not.
Why not?
Because Medicaid, I went to get my injection and Medicaid wouldn't pay for it because it was a $3,000 injection. And I've been off it for a little bit of time, you know, and now that I'm here at the jail, they got me back on my medicines and my chemical imbalance is pretty straight.
Lining out? That's good. Good to hear. Well, I'm glad they're working with you there. Now, so, let's see, you expire in March of 29. I appreciate you being honest with us today. I'm going to see if my colleagues have any other questions.
How would you get your medication if you were released?
I'm sorry?
How would you get your medication if you were released?
I got a doctor in Lake Charles now, and I'm on Medicaid. I got Louisiana Medicaid, and it's finally back valid. It's good now. So my mother and my sister, you know, families got all that situated where I can get out and go straight to get my medications and my injection and everything.
Are you working?
Sir?
Are you working?
Yes, sir. I was working at Champion Homes here in Leesville, Louisiana. It's a trailer, mobile home manufacturing where they mobile home, $19 an hour. I was a plumber there.
Okay, thank you. I have no more questions.
Ms. Ledoux?
Mr. STOLZLE, you were living with your mother, is that correct?
No, ma'am, I was living with my brother in Rose Pine, Louisiana. And the situation wasn't very good at all.
Okay, so where would you live if you were released? Where would you live?
With my mama and my sister in DeRidder, Louisiana.
Why didn't you go there first? Why did you go to your brother's and not your mom's?
Because they had a lot of people there at the home, and you know, my brother and them had a little bit of room, you know, available, and now there's more room there, and I didn't understand the situation that was going to be around my brothers at the time. You know, I just got out of prison, and I was just thinking, you know, it's going to be pretty good here, you know, everything will be good, and then I seen what was going on, and I had to get out of there as soon as possible because.
So was the home with your mother, is it still not a stable option?
I'm sorry?
Your mother's home, is it a stable option now?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
They don't have people living there now?
No, ma'am, there's not very many people. It's just my mom, my sister, my stepdad.
Okay. I'm most concerned about your mental health stability and the resources you need to receive your medication. I mean, I think that's going to contribute significantly to your ability to follow probation rules.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I don't have any other questions.
I'm sorry.
I have no other questions.
So, Mr. Stolz, when you say you released from Allen, when you released from Allen, did you have a doctor's appointment already set up and your medication lined up?
Well, I wasn't on, I didn't have Medicaid started.
Okay, so they didn't start that for you. So, but when you were at Allen, were you on medication?
Was I on medication?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have my injection there, no ma'am.
Were you on oral medication, any other kind of medication?
I had been taking a pill, like once a day, but it didn't help at all.
So-
I assure you,
But since your release, and was it in the treatment program? I forgot where you said you were, but was that where the monthly injection was prescribed?
I went to the New Day Recovery. Well, I started at Oceans Behavior Hospital. I went to the emergency room, and then I went from the emergency room to Oceans Behavior Hospital and seen a psychiatrist. And that's when I got my Medicaid started, and then I got my injection, and everything was leveled out. And, you know, when I went to New Day Recovery, they was giving my injection there as well. Then when I went to the cross stabilization program, they was giving me it there as well. And then, you know, I've been continuing to get it. Just, you know, there for a little gap, I didn't get it because my Medicaid didn't want to pay $3,000 for injections. So,
Well, I understand. I'm really happy that they've got all that worked out. Now, if you went to your mother's home, would you have transportation to get to the doctor and so forth?
my mom or my sister could potentially drive me, yes, ma'am.
Then they have access to transportation for that purpose.
They do.
All right. Is there any need for an executive session? I'm ready to vote.
Good.
Okay. Mr. Stolze, I really appreciate talking to you today. I'm really glad that you got that situation worked out with Medicaid. You stabilized on your medicine and that they've been able to help you there in Vernon Parish. That's I'm really pleased to hear that. I do see in the record that you did you were released in November of 24, and then you last reported in December of 24, and then you got involved in trying to get the Medicaid resolved and ended up seeking treatment. So that's a good thing. My vote today is going to be, although I do find you guilty of violating condition number 4, which is at the store, what you did at the store. I do think that a mitigating factor is your mental health status. My vote today is going to be do not revoke, but you must have an approved residence plan. I hope that residence plan with your mother and sister will be approved by probation and parole with the added special condition. You must comply with your mental health treatment plan, including the medication.
Yes, ma'am.
Shouldn't be a problem since you got the Medicaid straight. So that's my vote. Mr. Tillis?
I concur.
Mrs. Ledoux? You're on mute, Ms. Ledoux.
I concur. Mr. Stozel needs to maintain mental health treatment, and my vote is not to revoke as long as he's compliant with that. And Mr. Stozel, you might want to consider not going into that Dollar General, just to stay away from that particular Dollar General, okay?
I assure you I'll stay away from all of them, yes, ma'am, and no more stealing and no more coming before any of y'all.
Good. Well, good. Good luck to you, sir.
I assure you guys at Baton Rouge that, I mean, I'm sober, I really am. I've come a long way because I used to be hooked on methamphetamines and all kinds of stuff, and I've been clean over a year. I really have. The Department of Corrections really saved my life.
Good.
And thank you guys so much for everything.
They're trying to help you. Good luck to you, sir.
So the results is, I'm sorry.
You're free.
Hey, ma'am. You're good. You're good.
Good morning, Mr. Ross.
Yes, ma'am.
There you go. Would you tell us your name and your DOC number, please, sir?
Jerry Ross, 52507.
Yes, sir, Mr. Ross, and I see you have some paperwork in your hands. Is that a parole revocation questionnaire?
Yes, ma'am.
At the bottom of that page, is that your signature at the bottom of that page?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, based on the information contained in that document, Mr. Ross, it was determined that you're not eligible for appointed counsel. So are you ready to proceed without a lawyer today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so your case has been assigned to me, so I'll read the allegations against you and ask you to enter a plea of guilty with a statement, or not guilty. That's your choices. So here we go. Condition number 1. And it's alleged that you failed to report to the probation and parole office since your release on good time parole status, August of 2024. You never completed intake at the Leesville probation and parole office. So how do you plead to violating condition number 1?
Guilty with statement.
And we're going to take that. We'll listen to the statement in just a moment. Let's read through all of them first. Condition number 2, you failed to report to the probation and parole office. It's the same thing. Since your good time status, August, never completed intake in Leesville. How do you plead to that violation?
Guilty with statement.
Condition number 3, you failed to follow this condition in that multiple attempts have been made to contact you in the months of October, November, and December of 2024. Both the field attempts and telephone attempts met with negative results. Due to your whereabouts being unknown, it is impossible for the parole officer to make a home visit. So how do you plead to violating condition number 3?
Guilty with statement.
We have 2 more. Condition number 9, it says you failed to follow this condition in that you moved without the knowledge or permission of your parole officer, so it's impossible for a home visit. How do you plead to that?
Guilty with statement.
Same. And lastly, it has to do with your fees. Condition number 10, it says you're $1,260 in arrears. You've never completed intake. So you've never paid any fees. How do you plead to that one?
Guilty with statement, ma'am.
Okay, tell us about it all.
All right, when I got out of prison, I had a medical condition that nobody, the parish here, nor DLC, tried to figure out what was wrong with me. And it took me to go to rehab and then find out I had a cyst on my brain. So I literally could not walk 10, 15 feet without falling down because the cyst blocks the cerebral fluid from flowing. And I had a cyst on my brain. I had brain surgery January of 25.
Okay.
And the whole time I was locked up at the parish here and in DOC with Claiborne and Rapides, nobody tried to figure out what was wrong, why I couldn't walk. Because I walked up at 10 foot and I fall down. And when I went to rehab in Shreveport, my counselor didn't want me to come back because I was homeless here in Leesville, living in a tent in the woods. She didn't want me to come back here. That's when I found out my condition of my brain when I went to the hospital up there in Shreveport at LSU. And they did brain surgery and removed the cyst from my brain.
Well, how you doing now?
I'm doing fabulous. I can walk again.
I can see you standing. That's good.
So really, I couldn't have a job to pay my fees because who's going to hire somebody that can't walk? You know, I roofed for 25 years, but it was a liability to get back on the roof.
When did you said you had surgery in January?
Yes, ma'am. 25.
You released in August of 24. So where were you between August and January?
Living in a tent in the woods, and I found myself going back to using drugs. So I would check myself in an uprising in Shreveport, rehab, a drug rehab. And that's how I found out the cyst on my brain, because I went to LSU when I was in Shreveport.
Do you have any documentation of anything you just said?
Not on me, but I can, it's on the app, the LSU Ochsner app. I don't have it on me, I don't have my phone. But I have scars.
I guess that's it.
But it's still my scout back, still my goal opening, went in there, now I can't even play three bolts in my hand, I'm working on getting my disability. I was in the process of doing that when I got arrested.
So, what are you doing there in Vernon Parish? Do you have a job there?
I have a job working at Chipmunk, Emerson Air Conditioning and Heat.
Is it a work job?
Ma'am?
It's a work release job?
No, ma'am.
No, you just working with them?
Yes,
Now.
when they need help, put in air conditioning, yes, ma'am. And I'm working on getting my disability for having my brain surgery. I was in the process of doing that.
So let me ask you this, Mr. Ross. What have you given any thought to where you would live if you whenever you get out of jail? You're gonna get out of jail at some point.
Yeah, I have a camper now.
Where is it?
It's right down the road from here. On Redtown Road. It's it's on his property. Where's my camper?
So it's in a trailer park,
No, ma'am, it's on private property.
family land or something?
Yes, ma'am. My friend's family, not mine. My older brother doesn't live none of our family members on our, we have 20 acres on Louisiana Highway State 10.
All right.
Don't want nobody out there, so I don't go out there, so I don't get in no trouble. But I have a camper now that I go to where I won't be absconding, they can come see it, they can check it out, whatever they need to do.
Mm-hmm. Where would you work? With the air conditioned people?
Yes, ma'am.
And why were you living in the woods?
Cause I couldn't go back to my family estate, cause my older brother doesn't want nobody out there. My grandfather owned a trailer park for 40-something years. And there's these trailers that are grown up, but my older brother who's out there doesn't want none of us out there, because there's two other boys besides me.
All right, I'm gonna just defer to my colleagues to see if they have any questions, and I would ask for an executive session once you finish your questions. Mr. Tillman.
I wanted to know why you left the WAY program in Crowley.
Because I got in trouble.
You're having trouble?
I got in trouble with the man that run it.
So what kind of trouble?
I had me and this one other guy who was he completed the program, and he's supposed to be like I guess let's say set the example for everybody. And I see him one day, he was cussing out an older gentleman, and me and him bumped heads, and I just didn't get along with him, and my daughter come and got me.
Okay, so you've admitted you were doing drugs at first when you were living in the woods, doing drugs. You have not presented us a picture of stability here, and to be supervised, you have to make yourself available to be supervised.
I have a place to go to now.
Okay. I'm prepared to go into executive session at the appropriate time.
Second.
A second.
All right, without objection, we'll be in executive session. Mr. Ross, for just a few moments, stand by, we'll be right back. Okay, Mr. Ross, it's 11:44. Without objection, we're back in regular session. I'm prepared to vote, Mr. Ross, and I enjoyed speaking with you. I am real concerned when I look at the record and the notes in the record and your history. You know, my vote today, sir, is going to be to revoke your parole. You pled guilty to all the violations and you've not demonstrated the ability to follow the conditions of parole. So that's my vote, sir. Mr. Tillis?
My vote's to revoke for violation 1, 2, 3, 9, and 10.
Mrs. Ledoux?
Mr. Ross, I hope that you are now physically capable of doing better, but I believe you have violated the conditions of your parole, and my vote is to revoke.
So today, sir, your parole is being revoked.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I'm going. Yeah.
All right, the Committee on Parole is now at the Red River Detention Center, Parish Jail rather. With the officer there in Red River, please introduce yourself for the record.
Sergeant Eldridge with the Red River Parish Sheriff's Office.
Thank you, Sergeant Eldridge, for accommodating us today. And we have before us Mr. Victor Demery.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you, sir, tell us your DOC number?
452438.
Yes, sir. And do you have any paperwork there with you?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I got a form we're gonna put up on the screen. I need you to verify if it's your signature on that piece of paper. Just stand by with me right up.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you see that? Mr. Demery, is that your signature down at the bottom of that page?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, sir. Based on the information in that document, it was determined you're not eligible for us to appoint you a lawyer. So you ready to proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Your case today has been assigned to Mr. Tillis. Would you answer his questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Gentlemen, how are you?
How you doing, sir?
I'm going to read some violations and you can answer guilty, not guilty, or with a statement. Violation number 3, you failed to notify your officer that you were no longer living at the listed resident. Family members verified your change in address to 7048 Highway 71 in Cluster. Upon a search of that resident, it was verified that you were to be your resident as your belongings were located inside the resident. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or with a statement?
Not guilty.
With statement?
So I never changed the address. So I just did a house visit with my parole officer, and then like 2 or 3 weeks later, I came to my parole to the parole office to check in. I never changed the address.
Okay. Violation number 4. You failed to refrain from criminal conduct in that on July 3rd, 2025, you were arrested by the Red River Parish Sheriff's Office for committing the offense of aggravated assault with a firearm, illegal carrying of a weapon, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and aggravated criminal damage to property on the date. You also refused to provide a drug screen order to do so by your parole officer. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty?
Yes, sir.
What happened?
Well, the guy that's supposed to happen with, he came in and wrote a statement said that he had the wrong guy, and they never did get no gun off of me, or none of that. Not because I was in my parole address, 1218 Postdale Road. They searched that address and didn't find it, and they went to another address that don't even have nothing to do with me. The guy came in and said that he had the wrong guy.
What guy came in and said that?
That's who was supposed to happen with Justin Carter, the victim.
Okay. That's violation number 5. You fail to refrain from possession of firearm, own or other dangerous weapons in that on July 3rd, 25, you were arrested in the Red River Parish Sheriff's Office, committing the offense of an aggravated assault with a firearm, illegal carrying of a weapon, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, aggravated criminal damage. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Okay. Have you been staying in touch with your parole officer?
Yes, sir.
And they pick you up for these charges that you say you're not guilty of?
No, I had reported. I had came in for a monthly checkup. You know how you come in for the month and check in. I came in. I was coming in every month, checking in every month. I never missed a day.
And how did they make the mistake of getting a firearm and charging you with it?
They went back to another address and found the gun. They never found the gun at my parole address. The address they gave you, I never lived at that address. I've been living at 1218 Postdale for 20-some years. It had never changed.
Okay. Are you working?
So I was currently getting on disability.
Okay, so you were checking with your parole officer every month?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have no more questions.
Ms. Ledoux?
Yeah, so did you just go to court on June 22nd?
Yes, ma'am. That was yesterday.
Day before yesterday.
The day before
What
yesterday.
happened? What happened?
I went on plead guilty to it.
So you pled guilty to what charge?
Convicted felon with a firearm.
Okay, I think that precludes anything we decide because that's a felony, isn't it?
I mean, I had no choice. I mean, I had no choice because if I wouldn't just plead guilty, that they won't find me guilty in trial anyway because I ain't have a chance. I ain't have a fighting chance.
Okay. I turn it back over to you, Ms. Renatza.
All right. I don't have any other questions. I did, except what the outcome of the court proceedings is a little different. I think I'm prepared to vote. Mr. Tillis, are you prepared to vote?
My vote today is going to be to deny for violations 3, 4, and 5.
Mrs. Ledoux?
I vote to revoke based on pleading guilty to possession of a firearm by a convicted felon.
My vote today, Mr. Demery, also is to revoke based on pleading guilty to possession of a firearm. So good luck to you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
You play.
All right, good morning. Yep, still morning. The Committee on Parole is now at the Lincoln Parish Detention Center, and I believe we have, is your microphone on mute?
No, it's on.
I see it. So, sir, would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and DOC number.
Hey, my name DONTAVIOUS MCCALLISTer. My DOC number 601694.
Sir, Mr. McAllister, let me get the right file.
That's what it is.
So do you have any paperwork there with you at the jail, Mr. McAllister?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Let me put a document up on the screen, and I want you to verify if that's your signature on that paper or not. We're gonna put it up. There you go. Is that your signature at the bottom of that page, Mr. McAllister?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Based on the information in that document, you're not eligible for us to appoint you a lawyer. So are you ready to proceed with this revocation proceeding today without a lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, sir. Your case has been assigned to Mrs. Ledoux. I'm going to turn it over to her.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, Mr. McAllister. And I will note for the record, it's Dontius, not Dontavious. So you're
Dontius.
Yes, I have that in your on your master prison record. It is correct. Okay. Sir, you have been charged with violating the conditions of your parole. And I'm going to read out the two allegations, and I need you to enter a plea of guilty with a statement, or not guilty. The first one is that on 11/6/25, you were arrested by the Louisiana Attorney General's office for unlawful use of a social networking site. You pled guilty April of 26 to the amended charge of criminal mischief, and you were sentenced to 6 months in parish jail, suspended 1 year probation. What is your plea on that?
Guilty.
Okay. And you are currently $1,632 behind in your supervision fees. What do you plead to that?
Guilty.
Okay. You were actually paroled 1/30/23, and already you've had in 11, let's see, you also had failed to attend sex abuse or treatment at one point. You were sanctioned for that, didn't you?
Yes, ma'am. I had did like a 7-day sanction, but I had tightened up on it.
Okay. So we have evidence that you also admitted on a call from your jail cell, from your calls from jail, having that account, those social media accounts, for about 4 years. So you understand that has been against the rule from the beginning.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, I mean, I really don't have any other questions. At this point, you knew what you were doing was wrong.
Yes, ma'am. But the only reason I had the social media account, because my sister, she have custody of my little girl, and I know I wasn't supposed to have contact. So my sister moved to Texas. So I was speaking with my sister, seeing my little girl going to daycare and stuff like that there. And like my sister have an iPhone, and I have a Galaxy phone, and they don't link together. So I was using that to contact my sister to see my little girl go to daycare and stuff.
I appreciate that you're trying to keep in touch with your child. There's got to be a better way to do it, because what you did broke your conditions of parole. Okay.
Yes.
Based on your crime that you're on supervision for. Okay. So I don't have any other questions. My colleagues do.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't have any questions. I appreciate your honesty this morning, but I do believe Mr. McAllister, we're prepared to vote. Mrs. Ledoux will be voting first.
Mr. McAllister, I'm glad to to hear that you recognize what you were doing was incorrect. But based on your guilty plea, my vote is also to revoke you today.
Mr. Tillis?
Revoke on rules 4 and 10.
And I agree based on the conversation today and the violations. I find you violated rather condition number 4 and number 10. So my vote today is to revoke. Mr. McAllister, your parole's being revoked today. Good luck to you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Mr. Hill, good morning.
Yes.
Would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and DOC number, please, sir.
Bryce Hill, 552223.
Yes, sir. Mr. Hill, we're going to put a screen up on a form up on the screen and ask you to verify if that's your signature. Stand by with Derek.
Yes, ma'am.
That's your signature dated May 14th?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Based on the information on that document, you're not eligible for us to appoint you a lawyer today. So are you ready to proceed without a lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
And just so you know, I guess you can see your mother, Mrs. Hill, has joined us and she wants to say a few words, and we're going to ask her to do so in just a moment. Your case has been assigned to Mr. Tillis, so I'll turn it over to him.
Good afternoon, Mr. Hill. How are you?
All right. Good afternoon.
I'm going to read some violations and you can answer guilty, not guilty, or with a statement. Violation number 1, you have not reported to probations and parole since being released from prison. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, with a statement.
Not guilty with a statement.
Okay, tell us why. What's your statement?
I was calling and letting because as me being released, I couldn't make it to the first meeting because it's like 40 minutes away. So I was calling my officers and letting them know, but they were saying that the officer I was talking to I wasn't appointed to him. So it was like I was getting a runaround, like I was calling. I wasn't just not reporting, I was calling, and he'll be like, he's not my officer. Another officer get in contact with me. Then they gave me another officer, Mr. Reddix, and then they sent me back to the other officer. So that I was getting the runaround. They was telling me to like stay put a little bit but I just didn't understand what was going on because they never like really assigned me an officer. That's what I was letting them know once he came up here and was telling me. And he was like, at the time, he wasn't my officer and this officer was my officer. And I was living at the address that I was living at.
Okay. Violation number 3, you have not lived at provided address. What address were you living at?
At my mother's address, that address that they provided. Yes, sir.
That address.
Sir.
What's that address?
152 I Go In Road, Reston, Louisiana, 71270.
Okay. So you're pleading not guilty for that, George, also?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any of my colleagues have any questions?
Mr. Hill, you're a third-class offender. Have you been on supervision before?
Yes, ma'am. Probation. Yes, ma'am.
So those rules are not optional. When it says report within 48 hours, what does that mean?
Report. I was immediate release, so I didn't understand. I understand that I was guilty. I just wanted to put a statement in, like that, saying like I didn't just not report, I just didn't,
Well, it did sound like you just didn't report. I mean, I'd have gone and sat on the doorstep. I would have driven 40 minutes and sat on the doorstep because I'm supposed to be there within 48 hours. I just want to point that out.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'd like to hear from your mother now, if she would have some statements to make. Ms. Hill?
Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
This is Lisa Hill, Bryce's mother. I had even called the probation officer, and they said that his PO was being supervised. His PO was being supervised or in training. And then the address is accurate that he has on file. And they may have been missing each other at the residence because he's been sitting with my 79-year-old father that has Alzheimer's, the early stages of Alzheimer's. So maybe that's why they were missing each other.
Okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Hill?
Yes, sir.
Well, it's just like Ms. Ledoux said, you know the rules and regulations. How long were you out?
I want 4 to 5 months.
5 months, and when did you get in touch with your parole officer?
I got in contact with immediately, like once I couldn't, because once I got immediate release, I didn't know what day, because I had got some good time, so I didn't know exact day I was going to get out. I got out on the day I didn't know, and my mother, I didn't have any transportation provided. I got out like late, so once I could find a ride, it was too late for me to be there. They would have been closed. It was like nighttime, so I informed them to let them know that I probably wouldn't be able to make it. So they was telling me to get in contact with my officers at my district, because where we have to report for the first 48 hours is in another parish. It's not in this parish. So they was telling me to get in contact with people in my parish. And when I was getting in contact with people in my parish, and they was like, well, we don't know who your officer, we'll get in contact with you. So I was steady calling. They gave me an officer. So when I called that officer, they was like, this officer's not my officer. So I was just really just like sitting around waiting for him. And then once they came to the house, they left a note on the door to call that officer, and that's the officer I was calling.
How long have you been incarcerated?
3 months.
Since that? Okay, I have no more questions, unless my colleagues.
Yeah, I just need a little more clarification. I see where, okay, so you good timed out, immediate release, as you say, October 3rd.
Yes, ma'am.
November 19th, where they left a card on the door of the Igo Road address, I suppose.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And then on November 25th, they went back 6 days later. The card was still there. Signaling, I guess, it appeared that no one had been to the residence during that whole time period.
Yeah, I live at the.
It says numerous attempts have been made to contact Hill by phone, but failed. I don't know if that means you wasn't answering or they couldn't get through or whatever was happening. So I don't know. You still maintain that you were living at Igo Road and Nobody was seeing the card?
Yeah, I didn't have a car. I don't have.
Card.
Oh, card. Yes, ma'am. Yes, I was seeing the card. Cause me and my grandfather live at that address. I don't have nowhere else to live out.
You just left it on the door?
No, ma'am. That's why I'm not understanding. Unless he came and put another one.
No, it doesn't, it says it was, they went back later and it was still on the door. All right, that's all I have.
So are you working? Are you working?
No, I was getting paid to sit with my grandfather.
Okay.
So that's the work I was doing.
Okay. So what would you do if you were released? Continue, grandfather?
Yes, sir. And I'll make sure
What caused your arrest?
they said I just got pulled over. I was riding with someone and they pulled the car over and they ran our names and they said I had a warrant.
So you were a passenger in the vehicle?
Ma'am.
You were a
Yes,
passenger in that vehicle?
Yes, ma'am.
Was the driver arrested?
No, ma'am.
So that was just a traffic stop?
Yes, ma'am. For a tail light.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? All right, I don't see any. I guess we're prepared to vote. Mr. Tillis? Oh, I'm sorry, what she did.
She did.
We heard from her. Thank you. She wanted to be sure we heard from you, Miss Hill. We already heard from you. So we're ready to vote. Mr. Tillis?
I am going to give you a shot and say do not revoke. How are you planning to get in touch with your PO officer now?
I call, I walk, I do whatever I have to do. Anything, I crawl if I have to.
Your mother doesn't have transportation to get you there?
Yes.
Okay, my vote is to do not revoke.
Mrs. Ledoux?
My vote is to revoke as a third-class offender. You knew the reporting criteria.
Mr. Hill, I don't know what to do with you. I heard your mother. She made attempts to call, although you understand it's not her responsibility to do that.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm willing to give you a shot too. My vote would be do not revoke. Report to your PO weekly for the first 60 days after release.
Yes, ma'am.
So that you get to know him, y'all exchange information, and we won't have this problem again.
Yes, ma'am.
Good luck to you, sir. So you got a majority. You got 2 votes to do not revoke. You got 1 that was to revoke you outright, but today your parole's not being revoked. You're being returned to supervision.
Thank you so much.
Hey, I got him coming up right now. I'm so sorry.
Oh, thank you so much. We appreciate your help.
No problem. I'm sorry, we're just a little short-staffed.
Yeah, I understand.
All right, here he is, and we're ready.
Right. Thank you. Mr. Williams,
Hey there,
would you state your name and DOC number, please?
Corey Lamont, okay, William,
DOC number?
723693.
Right. Good afternoon. We've been looking for you all morning.
Good afternoon.
So, you're here for a revocation decision, Mr. Williams, and I believe you signed a parole revocation questionnaire that says you're not eligible for us to appoint you a lawyer. Are you ready to proceed without a lawyer today?
I mean, I wanted my lawyer to be here, but my parole officer told me that I wasn't eligible for her to be here.
Did you hire a lawyer?
And I got to appoint a lawyer.
For your criminal case, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, which is different than the revocation. But look, we see in the record where you got some charges pending and you have a court date scheduled for July 7th. Did you know that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want to delay this revocation proceeding until after you deal with that matter?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is there any objection to a continuance so that he can deal with that
No.
serious charge?
I have none.
No.
Okay, so my vote today, Mr. Williams, is to continue your case to allow you time to deal with your court date on July the 7th. And if you're successful with that, we'll see you again.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Tillis?
I concur.
Mrs. Ledoux?
I vote to continue.
All right, Mr. Williams, good luck in court. And if you're successful in court, we'll see you again we'll take care of this matter then.
Yes, ma'am.
That concludes our business in Wynn Parish. Thank you so much for accommodating us. We're going to adjourn. It's 12:40.
Thank you.